Head out about 10 miles or so from the Capitol Mall, and you will arrive here at Northwest Stadium, just outside of Washington, D.C. The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And that's not going to be returned, as so many kicking teams elect to do. This is past the landing zone, and we'll start at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Let's go. Ready?
Throwing right away is Daniels.
He finds his man, complete. It's Terry.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
It's early, but announcer cliche alert here. Big players make big plays. Should I say in big games too? What the heck. And this defense, they're going to have to find some way to slow him down as this game goes on. Because when this combination is going good, they can tear your secondary apart.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Here we go. Here we go.
They go play action. Daniels.
He's got Gore.
It'll go as a gain of 4.
And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
And the big difference in the game, their ability to force turnovers. Multiple, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, the big difference in the game.
It was impressive. Now the question, can they duplicate it?
Throwing now is Daniels.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
A 55-yard attempt.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short, no good, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Partner doesn't seem like it, but that's a tough spot for a kicker. First drive of the game, and they're calling on him. He should be warmed up. He should be into the game, but sometimes it's almost like, oh, what, now already? Can't they put it in the end zone? What's going on here?
Yeah, he's probably saying, if you can't get it in the end zone, can you give me a 30, 40-yarder? A long one, and he can't connect. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Now, this defense for the Commanders, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
McCarthy operating from the gun. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison.
And he's got this down to the 35. The catch and run, good for 18 and a 1st down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Working out of the gun is McCarthy.
And he'll be hit as he releases it. And that Complete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6.
And the Vikings get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point just does sneak over the bar. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
Yeah, they were in field goal range the last time out but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Ready?
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And boy, it all came together on that one.
That's one where they watch that and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed. And then we got to see it unfold in real time.
Daniels looking to throw.
Being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
You look at this defense for the Vikings.
And right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against some people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing league, so there's a conundrum for them. How do they get better defending the pass?
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
70 Rangers. Hey.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line.
A big gain of 28 as the drive continues.
Get it.
Complete to Likely on the out route.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Zero hesitation that time. That was get ball, throw ball.
Yeah, turn into a smoke route. If you see the coverage off the receiver, doesn't matter whether you call it a run or not. Just take the ball, get it out to him.
Here we go. Set.
Here's a quick throw caught out wide. And he takes it in for a Commanders touchdown.
A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season.
And the Commanders are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest. You get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
Coleman will try up the middle, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Over the middle, complete to Addison. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. These two teams all tied after one. This now a 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, McCarthy. That is caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards. A handoff, Coleman between the tackles. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's McCarthy. Complete. Jefferson the target. Only able to pick. And that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
3rd and goal, the ball at the 10. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. A good job there defensively to stop him for a gain of just 4, and that'll bring up 4th and goal. This situation in the 4th quarter, you go for it, but here, take the points.
If you go for it here and don't get it, you and I are missing our plane, and we're going to the post-game press conference to hear him justify it. Because the next thing we'll see is the owner.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Commanders are going to get the ball back on the turnover. They hold on 4th and goal. Well, Charles, certainly circled that play. We might have to revisit it later. They had 3 in their back pocket. They go for it on 4th and goal and throw the pick.
Well, we're still in the first half. A bold call nonetheless. And I guess the book might have said take the 3, but it looks like they burned the book and just said give me the analytics. And the analytics said go for it. Didn't work out.
And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after their last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Daniels. Quick hitter here. It's complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I think that call was made not so much to try and get the 1st down, although they would have taken it if they could have gotten it, but to give their punter a little bit of space and try and help out their defense.
Yeah, they got the safe completion on 3rd.
Washington going to send out their punter,
as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt.
and it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
Sliding out of the pocket. It's complete. It's Gore. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a gain of 14 down to the 14.
Time to give some credit to the big fellows, the offensive line here, because you've got to have good protection on crossing routes, because you've got to give your receiver time to work all the way across the field. That time, be able to scan the field, spot his receiver moving left to right, and make a good, accurate throw. Thank you, guys.
And a great job there to read that one defensively. They strung him out, would not allow him to cut upfield.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal as some good running there gets them down to about the 2-yard line, knocking on the door.